Flosstube, it's Elizabeth from Running Stitch. I am back with another update and mania plans. And this is actually my third take at this video. Yeah. So the first take, what happened? Oh, yeah. So I'm recording on the GoPro today. And the first take, the GoPro ran out of storage, so it cut my video off and I had to finish it on the iPad, and there was something else went wrong and I can't remember what it was. So I said, you know what, just record it all again, not a big deal. So I recorded yesterday evening, and when I played the video back, I didn't realize that the lighting in my room felt like being slightly mischievous with what I was wearing, because you could totally see what I had on underneath my tank top. Not this tank top, a different one. But I'm like, that ain't gonna fly. And at first I was like, maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm being self-conscious. And so I pulled my husband into the room and had him look at it, and I was like, tell me if you see anything. And within 2 seconds, he was like, your top is a little see-through. So, take 3. Here we go. Yeah. This is weird, like saying the same thing now for the 3rd time. It's starting to feel a little scripted. Okay. So today is Monday, April 24th. It is 6:21 in the evening. I still have glorious light, which is good. However, it's past dinner time. Have I even started that yet? Nope. No, because this is driving me crazy, not having this done. So I have 2 kiddos in the other room on the Wii, and Hubs took another kid out to Target to get a treat for doing something special today. So we're gonna try to get this done. Okay. So right now in April, we are wrapping up the Jessie Marie birthday sal that I have not been doing. I've been the worst, like the worst. My stitchy bug left, like just flew away since the last time we talked, like give a week, and it after that video, and it disappeared, completely disappeared, and it replaced itself with the knitting bug. So I did do quite a bit of knitting, so I think Jessie might be okay with that because she knits too. So I'm gonna show you what I've been knitting, but I'm gonna save that to the end because I know not everybody who watches is a knitter. So, hi Lukey. You wanna come say hi to the camera?
Yeah.
Wave hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm gonna go watch your sister real quick while I finish. I like you have my sandals on. Okay, go watch. Okay, but my stitchy bug has kind of started coming back, and I did put a few stitches in last night on Amish Life, which I have right here. So I had worked, it's like 10 stitches. I mean, it's nothing, but it's something. So it's enough to say I partook in yesterday's day for the sal. So there's Amish Life. Not really too much going on. Okay. Today is, let's see, we have today, we have tomorrow, and we have the 26th. So 2 more days after today. Today, some point this evening, I need to get my Outlander bookmark out. I'm not going to pull it out right now because it's coming up in my mania plans. And then tomorrow I'm scheduled to work on Sweet Pea Fairy. And then the 26th, which wraps up the sal, I'm going to be working on Patchwork. And I'm not going to be showing you all those because I showed you those in my last video, and they're about to come up here in Mania plans. So just kind of wanted to update you on what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of days. Okay, so mania, yay! I'm so glad that my Stitchy Bug is coming back when it is, because I have been planning for mania for months. Like, I think I wrote out my plans right here, like February, probably beginning of February. I've had them laid out for a while, and ever since then, let's see, I've had all the patterns, but ever since then I've been kind of filling in gaps. So buying fabric, filling in floss colors I didn't have, which most of them I actually pulled from stash. I was pretty impressed with myself. Ordering beads, Krennics, just all those kinds of things to get everything ready to go. And I think I just need to order one more tiny piece of fabric for something towards the end of the month. So I have time to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of digging. I have everything here, but it's in no particular order. So I might be reaching and turning, and just bear with me. At least today my nose is not running. Like last night when I filmed, it was like sniffle fest. So we got that going for us today. Okay, so let's jump right into this. May 1st is, before I start that, I combined new starts and whips. So I have whip Wednesdays and whip weekends. Because while I have accumulated quite a few new things kitted up, I didn't have enough to do 31 days. So I put some whips in there too, which that makes me feel like I need to explain kind of why I had this change of thought from last year. Because if you watch my video from last year, you'll remember I probably said something to the effect of, I'm just going to focus on whips for Stitch Mania, because I've got like 12 of them and that's overwhelming, and I don't know how you guys have like 40, 50, 60, however many whips it is. But that just to me is too much, so I'm going to stick with what I have and just try to work on those. And so while that's fine, I had a little change of thought recently. I noticed one day when I was upstairs looking through all of my stash, I had quite a few things kitted up and just waiting. And I thought, you know, why are these just sitting there? Just sitting there. Like, what if I never get to them? And that's really is, I mean, to some extent it is kind of wasteful when you think about it. Like, I'm not rolling in money. You know, I mean, I can purchase things when I want to a reasonable degree, but, you know, it seems just kind of wasteful for all these things to be kitted up and then they just sit there and never get touched. So, I thought, you know, what is the harm in, while they're waiting for me to get to them, they're waiting with a few stitches put in them and some moments of enjoyment that were had. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start all these things this month, and when I get back to them, I get back to them. But you know what? I got to say that I started them, and I have the memory of that, and I think that that's important. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so combination of new starts and whips. Okay, so May 1st is a new start, and it is going to be Mirabilia's Stuck. Sorry. Mirabilia's Feather Fairy. Okay. She is going on 32 count Belfast from Picture This Plus in Haunted, which is a beautiful bluish green with a gray undertone to it. Gorgeous piece of fabric. And this fabric is really, I think it's really going to work well with those gold tones and the greens and the pinks in this design. I think it's going to be beautiful. So that's what she's going on. I have all the threads, all the Krennics, all the beads ready to go. She's fully kitted. Okay. May 2nd, I cannot tell you how excited I am about this one because I have, oh my gosh, it has taken everything I have to not have started this by now. And you know what? I need my iPad. Hang on one second. Okay. All right. May 2nd. This is a Heaven and Earth design. Let me open this up here on my iPad. Okay, hang on. I've got 2 PDF readers that I use. I've got Goodreader and I've got iAnnotate, and I use them. Goodreader I found is much more conducive to cross stitch. iAnnotate I use a lot for knitting. So anyway, okay. So this is Steamheart, artwork by Chris Ortega, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. She is going on a piece of 25 count antique white Lugana. I'll be doing her 1/1. And I was pretty impressed with myself with this design because here's all the flosses. With the exception of like multiple skeins per color, I pulled about 85% of all the floss from stash. So there were a few colors that called for like 4 or 5 skeins, and I actually have 4 or 5 skeins of some of the colors, but some of them I had to go and go ahead and purchase the additional skeins. But this mostly came from my stash. I was pretty excited about that. So, yay! Okay, so that is May 2nd. May 3rd is our first Whip Wednesday, and it is going to be, hang on, here it is. Joan Elliott's Victorian Dollhouse. So there's what it looks like. Here is where it is. There you go. This one moves along pretty fast. I'm not going to be able to get a lot done in one day on this project, but it still will be fun to pull back out and put a few stitches in. So, okay. That is May 3rd. Okay, May 4th is a new start, and it is going to be Chatelain's Mini Mandala 2. Let me open it up here on my tablet. It's not a very good picture, but it'll give you some idea. Okay, so Mini Mandala 2. I finished Mini Mandala 1 and Mini Mandala 3. So this is the last one in the series. And they came as a kit. So the kit came with 3 pieces of this linen. It's a 32 count Belfast, and it's in a platinum silver color. It's cut to size, ready to go. These have been an absolute joy to work on. I have loved working on these minis. So if you, hey, stop. If you are interested in working on a chatelaine, the minis are a really good introduction to those. So highly recommend them. Okay, so May 5th, we have The Ireland Santa by Mill Hill. So I've done the Scotland Santa, and you'll see Wales coming up here in a little bit. So I have the Celtic series. So May 5th is going to be Ireland. Okay, so May 6th and 7th is the first WIP weekend. So 2 days will be devoted to this project, which is good because I hardly have anything done on it. And it is going to be things that go bump. And this is a design by Elizabeth Spurlock, and it is from the Just Cross Stitch 2014 Halloween issue. And I have, this is on 28 count white Lugana, and I just have some bats. So, that's where we are. Sweet little project. It's been sitting idle for far too long. I need to get back to it. Okay, so May 8th is a new start. And I have been wanting to do this project for years and years and years. I saw a finished one of these at my LNS, which is the Stitch Niche. Oh gosh, years ago. I was like a high school kid. And number one, this design is massive. Even on 32 count, it's huge. But the beading is absolutely exquisite. So this is Angel of Summer by Lavender and Lace. And I'm going to be stitching it on the called for fabric, which is a 32 count Twilight Blue Linen by Witchelt. The very stiff linen. I should be able to get it to soften up. I don't know. I mean, I'll have it on a scroll frame, so I don't know, but hopefully as I work with it, I might be able to get it to soften. Okay. Hi, buddy. Hi. So that is Angel of Summer, which brings us to May 9th. This is another Heaven and Earth design. It's a freebie. Yeah, let me reach. Hang on. Oh, there she is right there. This is Ice Princess by Hannah Lynn. So the freebie just means that it's like a cutout, just a portion of the larger design. And got her ready to go. And she is going on the remnant from my first attempt at my first Haid, Some Enchanted Evening. So if you guys remember, I restarted that one. So all I did was just clip off the work that I had done. So yeah, I've got this nice raw edge that I need to serge on the fabric, but I am excited to use this for something else. So that's 25 count white Lugana. She'll be done 1/1. Here's all the threads. I think I had to purchase quite a few for this one. Some came from Stash, some, yeah, I had to go to Joann's. Okay, so that's Ice Princess, which is May 9th. Okay. May 10th is Whip Wednesday, and I will be working on Angel of Grace, done by Lavender and Lace. She is. And I don't even know where this, I don't know who this fabric is from. I just pulled it out of a stash, hand-me-down stash, but it's a beautiful mottled neutral, and it's an opalescent as well. But here's where I am. So quite a bit of that white skirt done. I wanted to get that done first because I don't know about y'all, but stitching with a lot of white gets boring really fast. So let's write on that one. Okay. So that was a 10th. The 11th is a new start, and it is going to be Dimensions, Glory of Autumn. Sorry for any glare. So I'm excited to work on this one. I know a couple of you other floss tubers have got this one going, and it's pretty fabulous. Excited. Okay, May 12th is another new start. And that's going to be the Wales Santa from Mill Hill. So that will round out the Celtic series. May 13th and 14th is the next WIP weekend. And I'm going to be pulling out this gorgeous project, my chatelaine. This is Persian Iris Garden. And so last time you saw it, I was working on this set of buildings over here. And I got all the treasure braid, all the back stitching put in. And I have almost finished up this corner element. I just need to add in the sparkles and the beads, but none of the beadings can be put on until the end. I did some of it down here just because I couldn't help myself, but I'm gonna wait till the end for the rest of it, so. How's the light hitting that? Is it pretty? This is just the most fabulous project ever. It's gorgeous. Okay. All right, so that was the 13th and 14th. Oh, yay, 2 days devoted to that one. Good. Okay, so the 15th is a new start. And it is going to be Plum Street Samplers, The Flood. My mother purchased this pattern in the hopes that I would stitch it for her. So she will be very excited when I actually start this one. And it is going on the called for fabric, which is 36 count vintage buttercream by Lakeside Linens, and the vintage just basically means that it's got some modeling to it, which it's really hard to see, but it's a gorgeous piece of fabric. So, yeah, so soft. You just can't beat those Zweigart linens. They're just amazing. I've never stitched on 36 count before, so that should be interesting.
Mommy,
Yes, buddy.
I want to watch movies.
Okay, well you'll have to wait until Daddy gets back because I'm working on this right now. You like my sparkles? Well, don't you go finish watching what Lila's doing, okay? Or you can go play with your trains upstairs till Daddy gets home. I know, buddy. I know. Okay. So that was the 15th. The 16th is a new start. It is, if I can find it. There we go. Is Mirabilia's Royal Holiday, or A Christmas Queen. She is going on 32 count Belfast by Picture This Plus in Conifer. So beautiful, deep, dark pine green. Because she's Christmas, and with her red robe, she needs to be on green. She just does. So. ready to get started on that one too, because this one has been sitting kitted up for a while. Okay, so that's the 16th. The 17th is a Whip Wednesday. And I'm going to be working on Max. Hang on. Sorry. There we go. Max in the Adirondacks, who is my Dimensions Gold Collection kitty. Oops. He's been hanging around with me forever, it feels like. Okay, so here's Max. There he is. Needs to be finished. And I say that every single time that I show him he needs to be finished. And what happens when I actually pull him out? The momentum dies. Just dies. I don't know what it is. It just dies. Well, we're going to stick it out. We're going to try and stick it out. If it takes me 30 years to finish him, it takes me 30 years to finish him. You're a maniac. Yeah, you are. You're a maniac. Okay. Can I help you? Hi. Thank you. Okay. All right. Where was I? Oh, yes. Okay. So the 18th, new start. It is going to be Plum Street Samplers, Strong in the Lord. And I am excited about this project for a myriad of reasons. Number one, I love what it says. And number two, it is going on this absolutely fabulously gorgeous piece of fabric. 40 count vintage maple sugar by Lakeside Linens. It is, I think, the perfect neutral. Absolutely perfect. It just looks like butter. I mean, it's just so creamy. Like the color, it's absolutely fabulous. 40 count is going to really make my eyes work. And I already have to wear glasses, so I don't know about that. But the other reason I'm excited to work on it is because it has 2 Gloriana threads. So cinnamon is one of them. And Bellagio. So those are beautiful. Okay. It's every day. Poor Milo. Like, I think he secretly likes her. But he acts like he just puts up with her. And she bites all over him. It's really funny, actually. Okay, so that brings us to the 19th, which is Sweet Dreams by Lavender and Lace. This is a hand-me-down project from my mother, and I'm classifying it as a new start for me. She put a few stitches in this, but they're not my stitches. So again, new start for me. Kaya, stop! Oh my gosh. So I'll show you what she has done. And this might be upside down. I haven't looked that closely at it. She put in those. Okay, we're just gonna have to talk over the dogs. Okay. Yeah, so she put in those. Every time I pull this project out, and I know it belonged to my mother at one point, but I will never forget that it belonged to her because it smells like her. It smells like her, and you know when you had or have or had people in your life that either moved away or passed on, you know, and you come across things and they either like it's a picture or maybe it smells like them. It just makes it really special. And my mother is very much alive and with me today, don't get me wrong, but with this being sealed up in this bag, it holds its smell and it smells just like her. So I love that. Love it. Okay. Come here. Sit. Okay. All right. What was that? Oh yeah, Sweet Dreams. Okay, so May 20th and 21st is a WIP weekend, and I gotta reach again. That weekend is going to be for A Stitch in Time by Heaven and Earth Designs. Last time I was working on this, I was trying my darndest to finish page 2, and I just couldn't do it before I got burned out or distracted or whatever it was. So here's what I have. So right here, that's the end of page 1. So if you come up all the way, you can see where page 1 is. So you can... Kaya! No! No! So you can see how much of page 2 I got done. I love this project. This project is so much fun. So confetti heavy, but you know, that's Amy Stewart. Like that's just it's what her designs end up being charted in because she has so many colors in her artwork. Anyway, okay, so A Stitch in Time is May 20th and 21st. So 22nd is A New Start, and it is going to be somewhere. It's going to be something. Where are you? Come on, guys. There it is. It's going to be Mirabilia's Rapunzel. She's going on 32 Count Belfast from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie in Valerian Steel. And I chose this piece. Hi, Lila. You want to come say hi?
Hi.
You wave to the camera?
Hi.
You want to stand here while I talk? How many times have I recorded this video?
3.
3.
I'm gonna go get some water.
Okay. All right, so I chose this fabric because when I look at this image, I imagine that she is gazing out of her tower under the moonlight. That's just what this makes me think of. And so I chose a darker gray to kind of evoke that image. And I think the gray is going to contrast beautifully with, I'm sorry, there's text messages coming through about what my track workout is going to be tomorrow morning. I think the gray is going to contrast beautifully with the browns in her hair and the pinks and the colors in her dress. I think it's going to work out really nice. So Valerian steel, Game of Thrones reference. Desperately waiting for it to come back because winter is coming. Okay. Yeah, I'll get back to y'all in a second. Okay. So that brings us to the 23rd, which is going to be a project that my daughter actually helped pick out. This is from Ballet Classics. I've had this book, gosh, since I was a teenager. And we're going to be doing the Swan Lake Princess. Or Swan Lake Ballerina. Yeah, sorry. Swan Lake Ballerina. And she's going to go on this, I guess it's a remnant. Either that or it's a very small piece of fabric, but it's perfect for what I need it for. It's an opalescent Lugana. I have no idea what the count is. If I had to guess, it would be 32. 32. You know how when you've been stitching for so long that you can just look at a piece of fabric and have a pretty good idea what the count is? Yeah, I think it's a 32. So there was only one color of floss that I did not have, so I just substituted in a color that was close enough. So this will be good. This will be really pretty. All right, so that is the 23rd. Y'all, after doing this now for the 3rd time, my box is like a complete disaster. Oy. Okay, the 24th, which is Whip Wednesday again, we are going to be working on, where did it go? That one, that one. Oh, there it is. My Outlander bookmark, which is what I'm going to be working on a little bit tonight for the birthday sal. So we've got Claire, Craig Nadoon, wedding band. My needle is threaded with Jamie's hair color. Let me see if I have a finished image of this real quick. I should. Let's see. If I don't, I'm gonna have to re-download it. Oi. Oh, I don't know if I do. Uh-oh. It was free, so I'm gonna have to re-download it. Crud. Okay, yeah, I have to re-download it. We'll get to that in a second. No spoilers. Alright. I will insert an image somewhere up here of what the finished product will look like. Okay, so that's the 24th. 25th is a new start. Somewhere in this massive chaos. There it is. Oh, yeah, I'm very excited about this one. What does this say? What does that say? Peony.
Peony Garden.
The Peony Garden. Yes, by Mirabilia. And those of you who have watched my videos know that I was having quite the dilemma with fabric for this one, but I've got it figured out. So I had ordered a piece of fabric from Picture This Plus, and it came in just way too busy. It was like a khaki background with splotches of purples, and it was too busy for this design. And so I put it away for something else, and I came across a piece of fabric in my stash that was very similar to this pink. However, it was a little bit more variegated, a little bit more modeled. And I thought, well, that'll work. You know, that's a pretty good size, and I didn't have to pay for it. It was in my stash, hand-me-down stash, so that works. But when I found that piece of fabric, I had already ordered something else. And when that came in, I knew hands down that this was the fabric that I was going to use. This is Kaya. Come here. Stop. Sit down. Milo, sit down. Stop. 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 I might have to. Might have to. Will you take her in there? Take her in. Go. Go. Sit. Stop. You are a maniac. Maniac. Okay. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah. So I knew hands down that this is going to be the piece of fabric I was going to use. This is... The rest of my family's back. This is 32 count Belfast linen by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie in the color Ceridwen. And it is a beautiful green. Ooh.
I got PJ Masks teddy.
PJ Masks teddies. That's awesome.
I'm gonna have Owlette.
Oh, why don't you go play with them? Hi. Okay. Ceridwen. Ceridwen is the name of this fabric. And it is a beautiful piece of green and pink with a gray undertone. And I think it's going to pick up all the tones in this design beautifully. And this is what I wanted. This pink, while it's very nice, it's a very warm background. And I kind of like a cooler color palette. So when this one came in, I knew that it was it. This it's gonna put like a little garden-esque kind of feel to it, which is the effects that I was going for. So very excited about this piece of fabric. Okay. Okay, so that is the 25th. The 26th is Sweet Bears by Soda Stitch. And it is going on a 32 count Belfast from Under the Sea Fabrics in the color Daphne. And all I have to say is the color of this fabric with this chart is pure sugar. Like, it makes my teeth hurt just looking at it. Like, it's just pure decadence. Pure decadence. Like, it's just gonna be awesome. Okay. All right. I need to get a different bag for this. This is just kind of thrown in here. Okay. All right, so that's 26th. 27th. Oh, okay. So the 27th and 28th is a whip weekend, and I split this weekend up into 2 whips because I wanted to try and get as many projects into this month as I could. Okay, so the 27th, I'm going to be working on patchwork. And here's the finished design. I'm actually not going to pull out what I've got so far because number 1, the fabric is freaking huge. And number 2, I'll just put an image up here because it hasn't changed. Okay, so there's patchwork. So that is for the 27th. And the 28th. It's going to be my Heaven and Earth design, Some Enchanted Evening. There's the finished design. Remember, I restarted this one 1/1. I was fortunate enough to find this blue piece of fabric in my stash upstairs, and with this design having a bunch of darker tones in it, it's perfect. So I started in the very middle this time because I thought, why not? So here's where I am. So you can see the tower in the castle starting to come into view. And it's been really enjoyable to work on. So now that my stitchy bug is kind of coming back, it's making me want to pull out a Heaven and Earth design. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? Can't ever be something small. It's got to be like the biggest project I have. Okay. All right, that brings us to the 29th, which is actually my oldest daughter's birthday. And I'm going to be, let me reach. Going to be starting, so you start. I'm going to be starting something out of this book, Joan Elliott's Bewitching Cross Stitch. And it is going to be father-son. And he is going to go on a 32 count Belfast from Under the Sea Fabrics in the color Buttercup. I'm going for a tone-on-tone effect with this project. So I think this yellow is going to be gorgeous with the bronzes and oranges and golds and yellows in the color palette. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty spectacular. I love a tone-on-tone. It's just, can be very pleasing to the eye. Okay, so that is the 29th. I'm done with that pile over there. Oh, nope, one more. Okay, so the 30th is my last new start of the month. And it is, hang on. It is coming out of this book, Maria Diaz, Landscape Motifs. And I am doing this one, this Italian staircase, which actually another one just caught my eye. This one just caught my eye. But I've got this one kitted up, so. And I love this book because the patterns are so well charted. I'm going to hold it back here, but you can see it's all in color. And it's very clearly laid out. Instructions are very simple. So yeah. And this is the one that I actually need to order a very small piece of fabric on. I had the idea to stitch it on, let's see, I have a piece of fabric from, I ordered it from 123 Stitch, but it's from Picture This Plus, if you're familiar with the color Wren, which is a nice khaki tan neutral. And I had the idea to stitch it on that because the color of the fabric would blend very nicely with the, yeah, let me find it here, with the color of the walls. But I didn't, this design is not very big and I didn't want to waste an entire piece of fabric on something so tiny. So I'm just going to order a very small piece of white and just stitch it on that. So. Okay, so that is the 30th, which brings us to the 31st, which is obviously the last day of the month, and it is a Whip Wednesday. So the last thing I'm going to be working on is Sweet Pea Fairy by Nora Corbett. She's just so sweet. I love this one. And here's where I am. She is on a 32 count opalescent Belfast from Picture This Plus in the color Fresco. That's where she is. Skin is being done 1/1. Not too much of it, so I figured it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So, anyway. That is Sweet Pea Fairy. Okay. You're silly. Okay. There's Mania. That's it. That's all my plans. Okay. So if you don't want to listen to me blather on about my knitting, we say goodbye here. Thank you for watching and commenting and subscribing and liking and all that gloriousness. I really have no idea how I'm going to do updates for Mania. May is always a busy month with the end of a school year and everything that goes with that. So I'm not going to stress about this. I have my plans, and if I get to it, I get to it. And if I don't, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just not. So you may just get a notification running such updated or uploaded a video. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's it for cross stitch. So if you are leaving me, have a wonderful evening, happy stitching, and I will see you next time. If you are still with me because you would like to see what I've been knitting on, here we go. I've got 4 things to show you and some acquisitions. So let me get these out here. All right, so when my knitting bug picked up, I got the idea that I wanted to knit down a lot of the older yarns in my stash to kind of start making room for some new and current things. So I have kind of been doing that. A lot of these I'm going to have to show you from my iPad here. Okay, so in this bag, which this is, my mom and I tried to start a little Etsy shop to sell little knitting bags, and it's since been put on hiatus. We can pick it back up kind of whenever we want, but this is one of ours. Let's get the inside to it. And it's a drawstring, and it's got a handle. So in here, I cast on a pair of socks. My preferred way of working on socks is actually on 2 24-inch circular needles, but I have a project on those already, and I only have 1 set. So the sock itch was really getting to me, and I had DPNs, so I went ahead and cast on DPNs. So this is the Papillot pattern. It is, I believe it's free on Ravelry. Here's what they look like. It's just a cable rib sock. Nothing too exciting. I have knit my fair share of socks, and I have knit my fair share of like complicated socks and fancy socks. And so I was just kind of in the mood for something a little bit more simple. So here is the cuff and like the first pattern repeat. This is on a 2.5 millimeter DPNs, and the yarn is not my favorite, but I don't want to just not use it. So this is a Cascade Yarns Heritage Silk Paints, so 85% merino superwash and 15% mulberry silk. And it's the color Forest Glen, but I've really kind of named it just camo, because that's what it looks like to me. So nothing too exciting, but again, I didn't want to just throw it, like, give it away. I mean, it's good yarn, so I'll just use it up. Okay, so there's those. All right, and I also have been working on another pair of socks, just plain vanilla socks. This one is on my circulars. This is Crazy Zauber Ball. Not my favorite colorway. but it's yarn and I wanted to use it because I was in the mood for socks. There's Dalmatian hair all over it. So I did a simple vanilla sock, just plain stockinette, 2x2 rib cuff, and I learned how to do a new heel. So this is the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and you'll notice that with the short row heel, it threw off the gradient. So, you know, when you do a short row heel, you kind of decrease, and then you increase, and then you resume working in the round. Well, when I resumed working in the round, the patterning got all funky. So I don't really care. They're gonna be in shoes and underneath jeans, so it doesn't bother me. So anyway, this one's done, and then I have the cuff cast on for the second sock, which obviously they're not going to match. I don't care. So this is my preferred way of doing socks, is two 24-inch circular needles. These are 2.5 millimeter. So when I use 2.5 millimeter for socks, my cast on number is always 64, or somewhere kind of around 64. It could be, I think I've gone as low as like 62. I don't know, it's usually around 64. I also like working on 2.25 millimeter, and when I use that size, my stitch count, my cast on number is 72, unless it is something that's very heavily cabled, which I've done a pair of those, and I think my cast on number was like 74, but it's always kind of around that standard 72 for my size that I wear. So anyway, so working on the cuff for sock number 2. Okay. All right, so the next thing I've got, let me open this up here. Come on, here we go. Okay, so the next pattern I'm working on is a free pattern. It's campside. It's a shawl. Yeah, and this is a DK weight yarn, which means that this knits up pretty quickly. And I am using Hazelnut's DK Lively in the color Nymph, which is a 2014 club color. And sadly, Wendy, the dyer behind Hazelnuts, she doesn't offer a club currently, but I think she is entertaining the idea of starting one back up again. I know that they just opened a like brick and mortar studio, so she had been dyeing in her home with her partner, Dave, and they just opened a storefront, so a storefront/studio. So as they're growing, hopefully she will offer the club again. So this is Campside in the color Nymph. Here's the yarn. It's this beautiful purpley, bluey, green, some pink in it. And here is the shawl. So it's basically just a gradient of yarn overs. It starts with just a few up top, and then as you work your way down, they become more and more more and more yarn over heavy. They get closer together, and then once you get all the way down to the bottom, it's just that 2x2 rib for like maybe a couple of inches or so. Very basic pattern, and it's just knitting up gorgeous. So I'm very excited about this, and because it's in DK, it is so nice and smushy. So absolutely gorgeous yarn. If you have ever heard of Hazelnuts or have not heard of Hazelnuts, I definitely suggest giving them a try, because it's my favorite, my hands down favorite. Okay. So those are the knitting whips I have been working on in April. And I also purchased quite a bit of yarn. I kind of got on the indie dyer train and I acquired a few things. So let me show you what I've got here. Okay, so if you have not explored the realm of indie yarn dyers, here's how they work. Most of them have Etsy shops, and most of them will do a shop update maybe weekly or every 2 weeks, or sometimes, if they're not very well known yet, maybe every month. So the way that they do their shop updates usually is through Instagram. So if you follow the yarn dyer on Instagram and you set notifications, like when they post notifications, usually you can be pretty successful at catching an update. And some of them, their updates will sell out super fast. Some of them will have skeins like hanging around for a while. So I've ordered from both ends of that spectrum. I've ordered from a couple of dyers that are just getting started, and I've ordered from very well established dyers who you have to be super quick on that keyboard. So the first skein that I purchased is from Darkwave Fibers, and she's a new indie dyer, and she's very quickly gathered quite a good following. This is blissed out. This is a wool nylon 80/20, and it's 357 yards. So I'm going to be using it for a pair of socks. I have never used a full 400 yard skein for socks. I usually have quite a bit left over. So this is really pretty with these pops of color in it. So Darkwave Fibers, which is an Etsy shop. I ordered from Lavender Loon Yarn Company. She is not quite as new as Darkwave, but she is still kind of building up a following. This is Felix Felicis. It is a 95% superwash merino, 5% stellina, and it is a 400 yard single fingering. So it's a single ply. So you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see the sparkle in there, but the colors are fabulous. Okay, I ordered 2 skeins from the Lemonade shop. This is Goldfish, which is a mint green, and it's got these gorgeous flecks of orange and red and yellow in them. And I have a skein of fingering weight yarn from Hazelnuts, which is an orange like this, and I think I'm gonna put all 3 together for a really big shawl. So this is on her simple sock base. It is 400 yards. It's an 80/20 superwash and nylon. So Goldfish. And the last 2 things I purchased are kind of like the trophies in my wool yarn bookshelf right now, because this shop has been known to sell out in like 8 minutes. Like, I'm not joking. So I caught her Instagram post. This was maybe like a month and a half ago. She was doing an international update. She does a US update and she does an international update. Her international update only happens maybe like once a month, and it's usually on a Saturday. And so when I saw what she was going to have in the shop, I had to at least try. So I was refreshing and refreshing and refreshing the webpage. And I scored 2 skeins. I was pretty excited. So this is Wool and Vine Yarns. Kristen is the dyer behind Wool and Vine. She's based in Brooklyn, New York. And this colorway is called Stellar Banshee, and it is on her blitzed base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% gold stellina. And it's got 438 yards in it. It's a two-ply sock, fingering weight. It's absolutely stunning. And then after I purchased that one, I went back to see if maybe anything was possibly left, and I got lucky with another one. So I also got Fuzzy Navel, which is on her footsie base, and this is 80% superwash blue face luster and 20% nylon, and this is 400 yards, and it's also 2-ply fingering. And I did not intend for these to go together when I bought them. I was just like clicking, like buy, see what I could get, but they go together. Like, and I think that I'm going to make a Pure Joy shawl out of them. So look it up on Ravelry, Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli, and I think that's what these are going to be. Yeah, so I'm super excited about these. Gorgeous colors, absolutely stunning. Okay, that's it. We made it through. Yay! Okay, so those are mania plans. That's what I've been knitting on. That's what I bought. I'm ready to start mania. I'm excited. Okay, so like I was saying, I have no idea when I'm going to update next. Hopefully sometime in the month of May. I am maintaining a pretty significant running schedule amidst a full-time job and helping my husband get through his first triathlon, which is next weekend, or this weekend, sorry. So I am usually up at 4:30 in the morning for a 5 o'clock run, 5 days a week. No, 4 days a week, and then Saturday, Sunday morning. So yeah, I don't get too much done in the evening because my kids go to bed at 8, and then I have to usually be in bed by 9:30, 9:45 to get up at 4:30. So I get done what I can get done. It's definitely not as much as some people that Flosstube, which you lucky ducks, you get more stitching time than I do, but you know, there's pros and cons to everybody's life situation. So it is what it is. All I know is I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be talking to you, and I am so happy that you guys loved listening to what I do. Anyway, so thank you. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. Thank you for subscribing and watching and liking and commenting. I may not respond to everybody's comment, but I do read them all, and they are all very much appreciated. And I love reading every single thing that y'all write. And everybody's been so sweet, and it's just been wonderful. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed what I showed you today. I'm kind of starting to ramble. I actually need to go make dinner for my family. I put you guys first this evening, so I actually need to go do that. But anyway, yay for take 3. I hope this one is the one that sticks. 3rd time is a charm, right? All right, so I will see you guys in the next update, whenever that is. I hope you are working on something that makes you happy, and have a great evening and a great next month. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.